Hey everybody, I'm back. Lucky you. Okay, so this is going to be part 2 of the Lavender Journal, and I played around a little bit after the last video and tried, auditioned a few things. So I'm going to jump right in here. So this is the cover with the fabric over the top, with it's adhered to the file folder with fusible web, and it's on there nice. Now, I may do other things to this cover. I don't know. If I wanted to sew on it, now would be the time, because if you sewed on it now, when you put the inside on this cover, then the stitches wouldn't show. So that's an idea. You could go ahead and do that now. And actually, I have thought about that, and I'm wondering if that's what I should do. I'm not going to. Not on this one. I may do that on a future one, especially since I already started this video. And you're not going to want to watch me figure out what to sew and how to sew it and everything else. Anywho's, so I did fiddle around a little bit because I wasn't sure what I wanted to do, if I wanted my paper to go in this orientation or this orientation, or what I was going to do. But I decided that since I did such a great job, pat, 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 as I pat myself on the back, of getting this fabric on the inside so evenly and so nicely, I did go around the loose edges, and I put a little tiny bit of Fabri-Tac there, and it held really well, and it did not seep through. Just don't overdo it and it won't seep through. So I started auditioning this paper, and I really like it. Of course, one piece of paper won't go all the way across, but that's okay. What I am going to do, and I already rounded the corners on this piece of paper, but I'm okay with this fold showing. I'm okay with a little bit of fabric showing on the inside. So I'm going to measure where I would want this paper to sit on this edge and the top and bottom. Okay? And I am going to find the center of the journal, which is here. That's the fold. And I'm going to, and I just messed everything up. And I'm going to fold this paper a little larger than I want it, because I want to cut on, not on the fold. And I'm going to line up the top and bottom here, and I'm going to gently fold this. Now what I did was I made it a little longer than halfway, and I am going to cut on the inside edge, just a hair on the inside edge of this fold. And I'm going to use my paper cutter because you've all seen me try to cut a straight line even on a fold, and I'm not very good at it. So with the shadow I can't see. I hope it's light enough. The sun keeps going in and out. I had the window shade open, the sun came out, and then it was too sunny. Maybe I'll move my lights a little bit closer without trying to stick them in the scenery here. There, maybe that'll help. So here's the first sheet, and that is going to get glued down right there. And then I'm going to take this sheet, and this is not the same sheet because you can see there's no butterflies on this side. So I'm going to take this sheet, and I'm going to round the corners. If my corner rounder was any closer, it would have bitten me. I'm going to sneeze. Excuse me. Allergy season, and we were out driving around with the windows open. So there you go. And I'm going to, excuse me, Oh my gosh, talk about an unprofessional video. Oh, sorry. Oh, good gracious. I can't win. And I am going to do the same thing with this side. And I'm going to make sure that this one overlaps the other one. So it's about the same size as that one. And I am going to slice and dice it. And of course I'm going to keep these pages, the cutoffs from this, because I can use those for a lot of things. So I'm going to keep those, and I'm going to put this one on this side. And we are going to glue this. Glue. So what I'm going to do is, and I'm not going to use the fusible web this time, I am going to start gluing here, and I'm going to place it where I want it, and then I'm just going to continue to glue inside so that I can carefully place this in the right place and make sure that the glue, and because I am gluing some of it to fabric, I am going to use my fabric tack this time, although I do trust that my art glitter glue would work also. But we are, and I'm going really, really, really light. So I do not want a bunch of glue bumps. I hate glue bumps. So I'm smoothing out what I have put down with the tip. And I'm getting glue everywhere. Okay, so here we go. And I'm going to turn it this way because I can't see across the desk from myself. So I'm going to place this with just a little bit of edge showing all around and try and get it evenly spaced between top and bottom and get it on there straight. There's that word again. Okay, and then I'm going to work it, work it, work it, work it. There we go. And now, this is how I did the one that that sold. The really beautiful one that I made. If I do say so myself, I really liked that journal. And I'm not doing the paper, I'm doing the file folder. But what I am going to do is I'm going to do the edges of the paper here. Oops, totally missed. And I'm doing it very light. I am just putting just enough down to glue it, and then I'll put more in this area here. All right. My goodness, the golfers are out in droves today. Okay, so that one is down. And I'm trying to smooth the glue out underneath so there's no bumps. And I can still feel bumps, and that doesn't make me happy, but that's better. Okay. Now on this side, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the entire paper. because when I set this down, I want it to overlap that paper, and I want it to be, I have to have the edges meet up and everything else. So I am going to do the entire thing. So we went out today, and I wanted to find some new sheets. I decided I don't like my sheets. I have perfectly good sheet sets, but I don't like them. They're not soft, they're not cozy, and I really like soft and cozy. So we went and got new ones because Martha wanted them. All right, so I know I want it there. I know it has to line up with this piece. Yay. Okay. Now the sun is out again. So if I had the shade up, you wouldn't be able to see anything. We'd be in so much sun on this table. It's going to be hot in here in the summer. Might have to do everything at nighttime in the summer. Alright, so now it's all nice and smoothed out. And I'm okay with that because the signatures will cover this seam up anyway. Sure it's all spread out nicely. Now if I find that any of my edges are loose later on, I will re-glue. I am happier if I have a glue bubble growing. I'm happier if I don't have enough than if I have too much. I don't want it seeping out the edges and stuff like that, but I do make sure that as I'm finishing this journal up, it will all be attached really well. So there you go. Now that's going to be in the inside, and because there's paper in there now, and it's even thicker than it was, this is going to be the outside. So I know this is going to buckle just a little bit. Now it's going to need a little extra glue because, of course, it's right on the fold. I really should let the glue all dry before I start messing with this, but, you know. And I just work it really gentle. Like I said, I'm not perfect at this. I'm a beginner. So that's how I did pretty much the inside of the other journal with the that sold. Except I can't even remember what paper I used on the inside. I think I used a 12 by 12 sheet of paper, which works really well if your inside is smaller than 12 by 12. I just don't have any lavender colored 12 by 12 papers. Most of mine are either pink or sort of grunge looking. So nothing lavender. Go figure that one out. I do have a blue, but I didn't. It's too bright and too graphic for this. And someone did comment on my previous video that you can put down parchment paper under the when you're ironing your fusible web, and it won't stick to the parchment paper. And they are absolutely correct. I hadn't thought about that, but I have done that before as well. So yes, parchment paper is your friend when it comes to glue or fusible web or anything like that. In fact, I have a roll of parchment paper here, a roll of freezer paper. I had the wax paper in here until I needed it out in the kitchen. Uh-oh. I left my paper towel on the glue too long and it's stuck. No, Martha. Okay. Alrighty. So I need to let this glue all dry so that it can settle, and then I can fold the inside better. And I was auditioning some trim, and I really like this eyelet, and I'm thinking of putting it on just inside the edge of the cover. On the front and the back. I have just enough to put this on. I think that would be really pretty with this lavender set. So I think I'm going to put that down as well. And I put my pin down. And I know you know where the pin is. There it is. I'm sure you guys can see it much better than I can from this angle. Uh-oh. So Tuesday, I go and get my eyes examined to see how bad my cataracts are. And if they're bad enough, then I get to have surgery. And if I get the surgery, then I am going to get the kind of lenses where I don't have to wear glasses anymore. And if you do have to wear glasses, it's usually only reading glasses. So if my cataracts aren't bad enough for that, I wanted to get laser surgery, but they tell me that that's ridiculous to spend the money on laser surgery when in reality, pretty soon, I'm going to need my cataracts operated on. The problem with all that is I don't want to wait until I'm 66, 67 years old to finally not have to wear glasses anymore, you know? I want to do that now. If I was smart, I would have gotten laser surgery a long time ago. But I didn't. So, it is what it is. Alright. So I am going to hopefully like this when I've done it. Hopefully. And I haven't figured out what to do on the cover yet. I auditioned some crocheted items, but I feel like it's too heavy, too thick, weighs it down too much. So I'm going to have to think about that later today. But I also have to spend my weekend figuring out what I'm going to make to submit for my a la carte class for the Fiber College in Maine in September. So I sort of have to set this aside and a bunch of other things that I want to work on, and I have to figure that out. So I'll be watching some YouTube videos and looking at things like paper bag journals. I think that'd be something fun. And I think I could probably teach somebody how to decorate a paper bag journal or make a paper bag journal in an hour, I hope. I hope. I like this. Uh-oh. And this is where parchment paper would come in handy. And I know I have a big piece, but it's across the room right now. Okay. Oh dear. I want this down a little more. Squish in, squish in. I love mixing fabric and paper. It's just making me so happy. I mean, I've done quilting, I've done sewing, I've done weaving, spinning my own yarn. I have made clothing from hand woven fabric that I made. I've done all sorts of things. I used to make handmade cards. I love photography. But I'll tell you, I've done beading. I've made flute wraps for Native American flutes. I've beaded jewelry, but I'm not any good at jewelry. My jewelry always falls apart. There, that's my confession for the day. But this little hobby has really, it has me doing something new and different every day, and I think that's what makes it fun for me. Oh, gosh, how do I get that even? So that's so pretty. Isn't that pretty? I like it. And it's okay that it doesn't go all the way around. It's okay with me. If I find some more of this in my stash somewhere, maybe it will go all the way around. Who knows? But I really like that. So there it is so far. When I figure out what else I want to do to it, I will be back. And for now, that's just a little short 20-minute video, but I wanted to show how to do the inside cover. I mean, there's some marks on mine that make it imperfect. I could always cover that up, but I think once I have the signatures in there, you're not going to see it anyway. I may be putting pockets in here. I don't know yet, so we'll see. So thanks for joining me once again. I appreciate it very much. Thank you to my new subscribers. Thank you for the comments. They make me smile. Thank you for watching. Happy crafting. Take care. Again, if you have any questions, leave them below. I'd be glad to answer them. And thank you again. Take care. I'll be back with part 3 when I start putting the signature together, and I will show you what I've decided about my cover. But that might not be until next week because I have to do those other things I mentioned. Bye.